What leads a demon to desire something as human as family bonds? In a world where creatures of the night live to devour the living, why did Rue, one of the 12 Kazuki, cling to the idea of a family, even though it was distorted and corrupted? This is the story of Rue, a demon who, despite his monstrous nature, desperately fought to recreate the love he had lost. Rue, the demon of Mount Natagumo, was not just an ordinary villain. He was a deeply troubled and complex soul. In his demonic form, Rue maintained an appearance that reflected his inner being, a small and fragile figure, with hair that resembled spider legs and eyes as sharp as the threads he manipulated. His white skin, marked with red spots, was a constant reminder of his transformation from a sickly human into a creature of darkness. The kimono he wore, adorned with spider webs, was both armor and a mask for the pain he carried. But who was Rue before he became a demon? In the shadows of his history, we find a frail boy, born into a family that loved him deeply, but could do nothing to save him from his debilitating condition. Every step, every breath was a struggle for Rue, until the day Musen Kibutsuji appeared, offering him a way out, a strong body, and a life beyond the limits of mortality. However, the price of this new strength was high, the need to devour humans to survive. And it was this need that drove him away from the parents who loved him so much, leading him to commit the act that sealed his fate as a demon. Rue's transformation was not just physical, but also emotional. The boy who once felt the unconditional love of his parents now found himself consumed by the desire to recreate that love, but without the capacity to truly understand it. He formed a family composed of other demons who, like him, were lost and desperate. But Rue's vision of family was distorted, based on fear and blind obedience. He saw himself as the child that everyone should protect at any cost, punishing severely those who failed to meet his impossible expectations. The relationship between Rue and the members of his family was a constant dance of control and punishment. His mother, a young demon whom he forced to assume this role, lived in a constant state of terror, knowing that any failure would result in cruel punishment. Similarly, his sister and father were also trapped in this cycle of fear and subservience, desperately trying to survive Rue's volatile temper. But why did Rue cling so much to the idea of family? The answer lies in his human past, where his parents loved him in a way he never found again. Deep down, Rue knew that what he was trying to create was a farce, a pathetic substitute for the true love he had lost. When he saw the genuine relationship between Tanjiro and Nezuko Kamadu, something inside him broke. He recognized at that moment that the family he had built was a lie, an illusion created by his own inability to accept the love he once had. The battle between Rue and Tanjiro on Mount Natagumo was more than a physical fight. It was a confrontation of ideals. Tanjiro, with his unwavering determination and love for Nezuko, represented everything Rue desired but could not have. In the end, when Rue was defeated, he was forced to confront the truth about himself. He realized that in trying to recreate the bonds he lost, he had become the very monster that destroyed his original family. In death, Rue was visited by the spirits of his parents, who forgave him for his actions and welcomed him back into their loving arms. This scene was Rue's true tragedy. Despite all his efforts to create a new family, he could only find the love he sought after his own death. This leads us to question, could Rue have found redemption if he had realized true love before being consumed by darkness? Or was he destined to live and die as a demon, trapped in an endless cycle of pain and regret? And so we bid farewell to Rue, a demon who desperately sought what he once had but could not keep. In the end, he found peace, but at what cost? Can true forgiveness be found only in death? Or is there still hope for redemption for those who, like Rue, are trapped in their own illusions?